2v2 Hydris Chasm blue side. Hydra plays a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive commander, fights melee by default, has a bunch of spells. Alongside Tripko as a Lictor Alpha, melee commander, can infiltrate, good at harassing and capping early on. Red team, 2 force commanders. First up, greenberetdelta, this is Ultramarines DLC, and STRIGON, and this is Dark Angels DLC. These are offensive melee commanders, quite versatile, can also buff troops. Both Space Marine players starting off with Loyalist Tactical Marines, heavy ranged infantry, tough and versatile, scale very well because of this. Chaos Space Marines for Hydra, and Tripko, the usual double termagants. Seems to not be capping the east side. Lictor Alpha sneaking ahead. Termagant should be capping here. Finally starts capping. Chaos Sorcerer gets ahead and gets his central power here. Are we going to see double heretics? Doesn't look like it. Force commander coming in. Will we see a power sword? Heretics worship. I'm not sure why. Green Beret will know these Chaos Space Marines are there, and these heretics are pointlessly worshipping here. Chaos Sorcerer might go down. Special attack, if there wasn't a special attack, it would have gone down. Heretics now moving in, and they will just bleed. They're not going to do anything here. Badly managed first engagement for Hydra. Chaos Space Marines might be able to save it by getting a model loss on these scouts. They are moving into melee. Or retreat before they get a model loss. Not the best of starts for Hydra. How is Tripko doing? Kraken bolts on the Lictor Alpha. Extra damage versus heavy infantry, but also increases DPS very slightly versus other armor types since they shoot more often. Force commander ripping termagants apart with his chainsword, and they retreat. Havocs on the way for Hydra, a good choice, especially since Green Beret has gone for double tactical marines here. Solid base, but very one-dimensional. Can control them with suppression, or really scare them with melee. Strigon has lost his scouts, also goes for double tactical marines with these Dark Angel robes. Eastern Edge power uncapped. Triple gens and one more for red. Blue go for triple and triple. Warrior Brood on the way for Tripko. Barb Stranglers would be excellent against this tactical marine blob. Havocs hit the field, and they're going to set up right in the face of these scouts. Should be forcing melee on them, and does so. Wastes a Doom Blast though. Does take out a model, and was quite unlucky not to take out 2. Here comes Green Beret. Havocs need to turn around. Setup team that suppress with a heavy bolter can get marks in tier 2, and they are going to suppress these tactical marines, but here comes the force commander to tie them up, and there is for the Emperor. These guys are now buffed. You see the yellow circles. Doom Blast suppresses the blob, and these tactical marines in big trouble here. There's Doom Bolts, nicely done. Heretics have to leave. He's not retreating and finally does. Oh, what the? Hydra retreats there for some reason, perhaps a misclick. I only needed to retreat the Havocs, and now Green Beret can decap and perhaps cap this VP. East side, Force Commander in all sorts of trouble, needs to retreat. We do see Barb Strangler Warriors, a really nice AoE suppression weapon. Hydra lost those heretics, is now replacing them, and loses the VP. Here come the CSM. Wordbearers DLC, by the way, if you did not realise. These guys behind cover. Kraken bolts go off. Doom bolts right in the face. Nicely done. Takes out a model. And Flesh Hooks takes out another as a starting ability of the Lictor Alpha, and Green Beret needs to run the hell away. Tier 2 for Hydra. Tier 2 also for STRIGON. Or STRIGON, however you say it. Green Beret also goes tier 2. Tripko will be the last to go, gets another Warrior Brood in fact. Heavy Infantry start off as a melee unit, can get a melee upgrade in tier 2 also, giving them melee synapse and melee heavy, which damage all targets. See what he goes for. I assume he's going to get the adrenal glands for these guys. We have a red node over here now, and Flamer Tactical Marines. I've not really seen any pushes for the powers. Could try and push right now actually. Maybe not. We have some defenses. Where is the Lictor Alpha? He's coming over to this eastern VP. There's the Barbed Strangler shot. Instant suppression and damage these tactical marines and forces them off. Hormagaunts moving in. They are down to 4 models and do not have their adrenal glands. Not sure where they're going. Tactical marines in big trouble here. Warriors moving in. Lictor Alpha's in there, and he has his feeder tendrils, which I believe are a power weapon, which is bad news for heavy armor, of course. Force Commander now getting in amongst all this stuff, trying to hold it up as long as he can, but is forced off. Sharpish. Meanwhile, west, again a big retreat from Hydra, and I'm not sure why, because this player's also retreated. Green Beret. Bloodletters hit the field for Hydra. Demon Infantry with these crazy fiery swords do good damage versus all targets, can also teleport and phase out of existence, avoiding all damage. Very, very effective units in the right hand. Smite on the Hormagaunts almost took him out. That was the Librarian. Sub-Commander for Space Marines, good support abilities, also has that nasty smite he starts with. Decent in melee too. Here come a whole bunch of Tyranids. Where's the other Termagant Brood? They are capping. And the Force Commander has the Thunderhammer now. Powerful AoE damage power weapon, and he's going after these warriors and takes out the Lictor Alpha. Wasn't even attacking it. Just the AoE splash damage took him out. Librarian used well, tying up these Barbed Stranglers, and they are falling like flies to his power sword. Very, very bad engagement for Tripko, very good engagement for Strigon. Termagants need to cripple this guy. They don't have their toxin sacks though. Wow. I cannot remember the last time I saw a Tyranid player go through tier 1 without getting single toxin sacks on his Termagants. You see the bloodletters phase out, and we do see the power sword on the Force Commander. Yay. The weapon that nobody uses but is very good. Havoc suppressing this blob. Red team still have no real way to deal with that Havoc. Might see Teleporter on Strigon's Force Commander perhaps. Teleporter and Thunderhammer is a very nice combination, allows you to get right in there and start disrupting stuff. Chaos Sorcerer goes down, does he? No. Green Beret's Force Commander needs to run. Bloodletters with their very high melee skill can do special attacks like crazy versus Tactical Marines, especially when they're moving around. Here come Tyranids now, constant barrage for these Space Marines to deal with, and the Ultramarines flee, and so do the Dark Angels. Blue team can retake this eastern VP. Lictor Alpha needs a revive, but the Chaos Sorcerer retreated himself. Green Beret goes tier 3. Strigon has a Dreadnought on the way.
Your forces obey you.
Hydra using his resources to reinforce his stuff, and Mark of Tzeentch on the way for these Chaos Space Marines. Dreadnought hits the field. Painted white for Dark Angels. Walker vehicle for Space Marines starts off melee, inspires nearby troops to do more damage when it kills anything in melee. Can get ranged weapons as well, rather, which might be a good idea against all these Tyranids. Tyrant Guard on the field for Tripko. Don't see these guys very often. Are decently fast now thanks to the last patch. Here comes that Dreadnought though. Do they have any way to deal with this thing? Not really. Venom Brood is on the way for Tripko, having spotted him. Tyrant Guard will do decent damage to the Dreadnought, but I don't think he can take it on 1v1. Bloodletters should be getting in there. They are not though, not wanting to tangle with this guy. Mass teleport used to get all the Chaos Sorcerer stuff here, and he's charging into these tactical marines. That was Rod of Warpfire. Nicely done against this blob. And they get roasted by heretics and bloodletters. Wow. Bloodletters should teleport after them now. But they don't. Could have at least finished off one squad. That was a big mistake. Dreadnought still stomping around killing stuff willy-nilly. No sign of a ranged weapon. Bloodletters under worship now going after it. There is Hammer of the Emperor, or whatever it's called. Stunning and knocking back all this stuff. Tyrant Guard, Bloodletters and Adrenal Gland Warriors are bad news for a Dreadnought, but he is moving off, it seems. Force Commander covering his retreat with Disruptive Melee. 360 knockback with that Thunderhammer, of course, but he might go down himself here. Bloodletters again not teleporting after him. 366, 322, it's a 2-1 for red. They have the two Western VPs. Green Beret in tier 3 then does not have the zeal to get Terminators. Most likely going for the Land Raider Redeemer then. Plasma Devastators on the way for Strigon. Heretics is still level 1. Got Space Marines is still level 1. Chaos Sorcerer caps. No more war gear for these guys. Chainsword and Storm Shield for Green Beret. Defensive weapon allows you to use the defense ability, I believe it's called. Not quite as potent offensively, obviously. Still no toxin stats for these termagants, very strange. 343, 319, it's working so far. Chaos Predator on the way for Hydra, and his power's getting hit. Covered by Havocs. Here comes the defense. Whole bunch of tactical marines and 2 force commanders. And a librarian for good measure. No smite. And the librarian retreats, what the hell? Must have been a misclick or miss keystroke. Tyrant Guard out of synapse, very slow. Land Raider Redeemer is on the way for Green Beret, and this Chaos Predator is getting Mark of Pawn, giving it a flat damage increase. What are the red team doing? Are they going to decap or what? Blue team, meanwhile, wrecking stuff on the west side, namely generators. Red team just waiting for that Land Raider, I think. Capping up the east. Three, 4, 3, 2, 7, 5. Neither team wanting to push the opposite side, but look at this blue team completely conquering the west. And red are very slow to start hitting this power. Finally start going after it. And it's going to be raised. A single Hormagaunt is this? I think it is. I can select the thing, there it is. And finishes a cap. Here comes the librarian, finally starts capping. Very poor map control for red team. God of Warpfire forces these guys to retreat, and they're retreating through all of this stuff. Red team really need that Land Raider, but it's over here. And full retreat from red. That was very sloppy. Took an age to start capping the east side, and then just retreat when they see trouble. 2-1 for blue. 3-4-3, 2-4-4. They can now crowd around this Land Raider and push the west perhaps. Super unit for Space Marines has an assault cannon, 2 very heavy flamers and a multi-melter on top. Acts as a mobile base. You can reinforce around it, you can retreat to it, and it has a health aura. So this is going to be the top priority target for blue. Do they have what it takes to take it out? They have a Chaos Predator, they have Bloodletters, Adrenal Gland Warriors, a Tyrant Guard. They'll give it a good kick in, and they also have a Carnifex now with the Venom Cannon. Huge AV damage from that thing. Red team floating crazy amounts of resources, but not spending it here. Obviously waiting for Terminators, but in the meantime could get Assault Marines, could get some more attacks, could get some Devastators, Razorback support. They're just waiting for the Terminators. Here comes the Land Raider again. Havoc set up, but they don't have a mark. Something being dropped. Is that Rippers or Spore Mines? It's Rippers. Those flamers are devastating to infantry if this thing gets close enough. What is the Chaos Sorcerer doing? Move away, boy. Need some support on this side. Tyranids are coming in from the north though. Chaos Forces have retreated. Poor choice from Hydra. These Tyranids are now all alone and they have a Dreadnought coming in. Warrior Brood need to retreat and do so. See Defend go off from the Force Commander. 343152. Land Raider lost a lot of hit points but survives, and Scouts can now repair, which will take a while. Force Commander teleports away, just gets out of there. Great unclean one on the way for Hydra. Red team still not wanting to spend all those resources before they can get Terminators down. Here is the Great Unclean One, super unit for Chaos, hugely tough, fights melee, lots of nasty abilities, and you need to use those abilities constantly to get the most out of him. Again it's kicking off. Bloodletters coming in all alone, they phase out though, need support. The Chaos Sorcerer is not reviving here. Gets knocked on his ass and needs to flee, as does the Force Commander there, and Bloodletter's taken out. Here comes the Great Unclean One. The damage soak that the Chaos Forces need, but here are some Assault Terminators for Green Beret, Thunderhammers and Storm Shields, Elite Infantry for Space Marines. These are unique to the Force Commander. Very, very tough. Super heavy infantry, cannot retreat and inspire nearby troops when they kill something. Blue team backing the hell off now. And from what I can see, Strigon can get some Terminators of his own if he needs or if he wants. East side taken by Termagants, and they're going to try and sneak and decap this wreck point now, it looks like. And red team have not spotted it. Too busy overlooking this huge skirmish that's building up. Current Guard moving in, Barb Strangler moving in. Venom Cannon, Carnifex wants to be shooting at either Terminators or that Land Raider. Terminators are a large target, so anti-vehicle weapons will hit them with 100% accuracy. More Terminators pulled in, ouch. These are Deathwing Terminators, painted white for Dark Angels, because that's how they roll, and you ain't gonna argue with them. Chasing off Chaos Forces who all retreat. Chaos Predator needs to be very careful now they go after some Tyranids. Will we see some lightning claws here? Great Unclean One, is he gonna get away? Come on big fella, move it. Looks like he might. Red team not wanting to overcommit, which is smart because the Land Raider is low and these scouts are not preparing. Bloodletters in melee combat with Terminators. Look at the damage these Marco Tzeentch guys are doing to these Terminators. Almost took a model out. They get inside the Land Raider. And so do the tactical marines, do they? No. Yes. Great and Clean One needs a lot of worship to get back up. And Reds have a triple 240 121. Swarmlord on the way for Tripko. It's going to be an epic ending. Still, the red team, greenberetdelta, especially has a lot of resources to spend, is not spending them at all. Red team not using this opportunity to bash this power either. Kicking off on the east side, Venom Brood will not be able to hit the Librarian, missing every single shot there. He has no upgrades. 180, 121. Double for red. Our blues pushing, they are. Need a bit more help than that though. Double assault terminators after you, backed up by a land raider. Here comes a Swarmlord, super unit for Tyranids, devastating in melee combat. Also has some nice synapse, speed boost and reinforcement. Land Raider's gonna go down here. Down it goes. Now these assault terminators are a bit more vulnerable. We see Tome of Subjugation on them too. That's from the Chaos Sorcerer. The Swarmlord does have vehicle armor, so you do need anti-vehicle weaponry to take it out. The Carnifex does go down. We have a lot of tactical marine missile launchers going on. I see at least two. Here's the Great Unclean One. Finish his snack. Back for more action. There's some more flies. Ouch. Nicely done. Needs to use his other abilities though. Where's the vomit on all this stuff? Lictor Alpha is still down incidentally. Deathwing teleport out. Ultramarines Terminators just moving off, going to the east side. Blue team might be able to push back here. Swarmlord leading a charge. Can take that a natural, surely. Great Unclean One waddling around looking for a snack. Where's he going? Librarian takes the east. 92, 121. A triple for red again. This guy's not capping. Now he is. Swarmlord up against some assault terminators. Needs to be careful and backs off. Great Unclean One can't cap. These guys can. 65, 121. It's a double. Termagant gonna finish this cap all by himself. Tripko now has a Lictor. Flesh Hook's going off and the Devastators run the hell away. But look at this, red team both getting a Land Raider Redeemer each. Green Beret still has over 1,000 rec, could get a couple of tactical marine squads for that. Seems reluctant to spend it. Perhaps saving for a Predator for fire support. Here comes red team down the west side. Blue team have a double. And they're going to have a triple here. Chaos Predator on the way for Hydra, his second. And they do have a triple 53, 86. It will be a short-lived triple. Red team congregating on the west. Blue team congregated on the east. Need to go and defend a natural now. They have a Predator there, they have a Swarmlord there. Swarmlord's all alone. And that's 3 missile launchers I count. And look at the damage they're doing, it's not going to last long. Torrent formation, nicely done. Space Marines moving away, they need to move further than that though. It's all kicking off. The Spires coming up and devastating those Marines. They did not move far enough and are now retreating. Here come the Land Raiders in the distance there. Swarmlord in melee combat with Thunderhammer Terminators. He's not going to win that fight, I'm afraid. Backing off. Double Chaos Predators need to be careful. The Deathwing Terminators seem to be in a bit of disarray here. I'm not moving. Great Unclean One going after the Force Commander, who still has his Chainsword and Storm Shield. Rear arm hits on this thing. Needs to move right now. You cannot suppress these Terminators with the Bar Strangler, of course. And gets away. Terminators, leave it alone. Heretic trying to cap. There's Swarm of Flies. Doesn't seem to want to use the other abilities on the Great and Clean one. Land Raiders being a bit more aggressive now, pushing. East side is uncapped, I see. Sink kill on that Heretic, poor guy. Assault Cannon on the Land Raider doing some ridiculous damage to these warriors, and they retreat the hell away. Red team dominating the west side, double Land Raiders and double Terminators. Scouts capping 39-34. East side is blue though, and they have a 2-1 now. They've nicked Red's natural. Sneaky Lictor hit. Assault Terminator, Deathwing. Teleport back to take. 39-25, 2-1. Coming down to the wire, Hydra getting another Chaos Predator. This Lictor wailing on these Assault Terminators now. Level 2 with feeder tendrils. He's not going to survive if they turn on him. They start capping again. Kicks off again on the west side. Lictor was trying to be sneaky, but got too close. Needed to come around here to try and decap. Double Chaos Predators now, and the Lictor Alpha working on his Terminators, and they're taking a lot of damage. They did finish the cap though. It's a 2-1 for Red. 35-21. Lictor Alpha's gonna die. After being dropped. Rippers. Yes. One tank goes down, the other goes down. Sloppy play. What is this one doing as well? Chaos Sorcerer goes down. What are blue team doing? Just look after your natural and the east. You don't need to push this hard. And that's 3 tanks down in seconds, and more Assault Terminators from Strigon. Blue's natural desperately trying to take it, but stuff is dying left and right. And even more Terminators with Green Beret and VP counter counting down. Epic stuff in late game from the Space Marines. Wow, double Land Raiders and quadruple Terminators. Good luck beating that. Great and Clean one on the east side. Could not cap, of course. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.